Well, it's coming up to the end of the year, and I've done so many debates over the last 12 months about esports. But there's been one question that's come up in nearly every one of those conversations, whether it was an insider's conversation or an outsider's conversation. What is an esport? And what's remarkable to me about it is it remains fascinating for audiences no matter the context. And I wonder, why is it this question doesn't go away? I mean, we do talk about the definition of other pastimes, like what is music, what is film, what is sport? And so perhaps that this question isn't really going to go away ever. And that probably makes sense because, of course, we are constantly negotiating the parameters of our communities. We want to distinguish between us and them. We want to make sure that what we're doing and the way in which it's recognized or evaluated or assessed has some semblance of meaning for how we think about the sorts of things that we're doing. So it's probably unrealistic to expect that definitional question to ever completely go. Of course, it preoccupies the time of philosophers and social scientists ad infinitum. It's something that is fascinating to think about. What is the definition of esports compared to a traditional sport? How is it close to computer game playing? And so we do get very focused on this. For me, it's really simple. Competitive computer game playing is the essential characteristic of what defines an esport. Now, the elements of that can vary considerably. It can be a mobile game, so it doesn't have to be a console or a computer. It can also be an immersive experience, which we often talk about as virtual sports or simulation sports. But the key thing to remember is that these things are all developing. The definition of esports is not fixed in time. It's not fixed, in fact, it's fixed around the technologies that make esports possible. And as the interfaces for our engagement with those technology changes, so too does the definition of esports. So whilst at the moment we're still very fixed on computer game playing that's mostly keyboard or console based, we're going to change that remarkably over the years. We're going to become much more immersive with the technology. The interface is going to change dramatically. So our definition of esports is also going to evolve. And that's fine. We can live with that. And as that world of esports expands into those new territories, so too hopefully will our community of practitioners. It will become more inclusive, a place where many people feel they can be a part of it and can bring their creative energy into that space. And that for me is a great way to sort of end a conversation about the definition of esports, make it expansive, make it inclusive, and hopefully we'll develop a version of esports that's fit for the 21st century.